This is a magazine release modification for the M&P Shield. Some of the 40 cal owners were having issues with magazines dropping under recoil. Hopefully this will solve their problem. I've got snap caps for dry firing after reassembly to check functions. I've got a piece of nylon tubing that I used to modify the spring. This tubing is relatively stiff, approximately doubles the amount of force you have to push on the button to release it. I didn't have any drop mag issues because mine's a 9mm. However, hopefully this will help some of you 40 caliber people. So I'm going to take down the weapon, safe and clear. There's plenty of videos on how to do this, so I'm not going to talk through this spot. Set your slide, barrel, and recoil assembly aside. And inside you will see the spring. It's just a 50,000th straight wire, possibly spring steel or tempered. And there will be a link for pictures in the description so you can get a better view of that. I'm using the flat side of a jeweler's file because the texture helps me grab the spring. You want to lift it away from the mag release button. Push the mag release button through, and when you get it halfway through, you'll see there's a hook, a second hook on the button, and you need to pry that away as well. This is the tricky part. Before I'd cut the nylon tube, it actually slipped over the end of the spring and made this very easy. I didn't have enough after I cut it. There we go. So once it's free, you can continue to pull on the mag release and it comes right out. Unlike the full-size MPs, these are not reversible. Next, you take the nylon tube, which is 120 thousandths and 850 thousandths long, and you slide it over the end of the spring there. Maybe you can see that in there. I'm not sure what this nylon tube came from. It's this stiffest tube I can find out of any household item I can compare to. Q-tip straws, small mixing straws, even the straws on cans of WD-40. Nothing as near as stiff as this straw here. Wish I knew where it came from. I think it might have been a popsicle. If anybody's got an idea of what it is, please let me know so that we can help other owners. Now we just put the mag release button back in. I actually also slipped a small piece of wire insulation in, and what that does is it adds a little preload to the button as well, so the spring doesn't rest in a straight position. It rests with a little bit of tension against it. So I'm going to go ahead and slip that in there as well. So you slide that down in there, and then you go ahead and reinsert your button. Going back in is a little bit easier if you cock the button at almost 45 degrees when you hook the spring back over it. Push your button back in until it seats where it should. And then go ahead and push your spring back into the hook on the button. Cycle the button a few times. Make sure that it's seated and that it's not going to pop out on you. The force for the button is approximately double, and the nylon tube just barely rubs on the inside of the magazine well. This friction absorbs any vibrations from recoil that would also want to shake it loose. So you got the added spring tension from the nylon stiffener as well as friction keeping it from wanting to move. And then you just reassemble your firearm. Give it a function check. Once again, these are snap caps. And that's it. Does not interfere with the insertion or ejection of the magazine and is nowhere near any other moving parts.